Mexican immigrant students face many challenges when learning in the United States, especially if they know little English. Another factor that they might face is the amount of education that their parents have received. This can affect their ability to help their children as much as they want to when they come home from the classroom. English learners often struggle to read literature in English because it is cultural bound. This means that the textbooks and topics that they received relate to American culture rather than the culture that they are familiar with. The English language also contains idiomatic expressions. An example of an idiomatic expression would be that Henry has cold feet when walking down the diving board. Those native to the United States might be more familiar with this type of expression, knowing that Henry is being nervous when walking down the diving board. However, those just learning English might be confused by this type of vocabulary. This is why it is important for teachers to focus more on form and less on meaningful expression and ideas. Science classes can also become intimidating because of the complex sentence structure that are within the textbooks. This is why it might be more important to print out short descriptions on paper rather than first introducing Mexican immigrant students into these textbooks right away. Social studies classes can also make Mexican immigrant students feel more distant due to their lack of prior knowledge with the topics being discussed. In order to adapt to these cultural differences, teachers can use a theoretical framework that incorporates Mexican culture into the classroom. This workshop is going to show a few examples on how to incorporate Mexican culture. According to a study from the Voices of Mexico on how to incorporate Mexican culture into the classroom and meeting the needs of the Mexican immigrant students, teachers were observed in Guadalajara, Mexico. In this study, teachers focused more on critical thinking and used questions such as, "Now explain to me. Can you think of anything else? And who can help us?" As with all students, it is important for Mexican immigrant students to feel welcome in the classroom, but it is equally important to continue to hold the same expectations that teachers would hold for the rest of their students. Mexican students have been seen to perform better as well when their expectations were not lowered. Another study showed teachers in Mexico from a science class using phrases such as, "Your graph is likely to look better than mine, and I will expect your plan to be well thought out." This showed students that the teachers cared deeply about their education and knew that they could do it. Teachers in the U.S. also need to understand that there are cultural and conversation boundaries that are different than they are in Mexico and as well as in the United States. Sometimes when learning in Mexico, teachers collaborate with their students free-willingly, as well as having students collaborate whenever they want to. It is important to slowly adjust to having students collaborate when they need to and ask questions at the certain times. I hope that you all enjoy this workshop and it gives you some ideas and strategies to use to teach Mexican immigrant students, especially when their first language is not English.